People of the verse, hello and welcome to the channel. It's the Eradicator, and today we are once again going to talk about the evocati patch notes, but not just that. There are a couple of interesting rumors that are also brought to us online thanks to the evocati. Just again, I'm talking about rumors, right? Not actual leaks. I don't have any pictures to share because, well, I don't really want to monetize on things that I'm not supposed to be showing. But anyway, when it comes to patch notes, I think patch notes are okay because they're all over the place and it's good information about what is going on here. Information that CIG is a little bit shy on talking about to us, which I think, at the same time, it's good to see the progress that is being made and maybe some of the bugs that we should be expecting in 3.11. I think that those patch notes are a good way to, I would say, maybe give us decent expectations and not false expectations about what we are going to have and then be disappointed. That's why I'm doing that. Anyway, let's get started first with Star Citizen Alpha 3.11.0 F. And we'll talk about the feature updates here, and they moved all small countermeasure launchers over to a burst fire mode and adapted the ammo accordingly. We'll talk about countermeasures later because we also had an interesting post on Spectrum from the devs, and that is going to be quite informative too. Ships and vehicles, listen to that. The Herald owners rejoice because if you are flying a Herald, then you will be glad to know that they have updated the Herald to use Building Block Center HUD. Yay! If you fly a Herald, please let me know in the comments down below, and I also want to know why. I got to admit that sometimes, I have a Herald as a loaner ship for the Mercury Star Runner. Sometimes, if I have no other ship available, I would use a Herald to go from one place to another, and I try to go. I mean, the Herald is good at flying straight from one place to another. So I think the only times I ever use a Herald is like if my ship is blown up at SPK and I need to go back to SPK really quickly, I would use a Herald, and that's about it, right? They've also set decal fire rate at Gladius from 300 to 250 to bring it in line with the other ships. Weapons and items, they have increased the bearing shotgun round per minute to match the pump action animation and decrease the ADS spray decay. And now let's talk about bug fixes. Here are a couple of interesting bug fixes. Transit trains should no longer overlap at stops in New Babbage. Hallelujah! Another old bug being fixed, right? They fixed an issue that was causing some ships not to register damage consistently and appear indestructible. Yes, a game-breaking bug that is being crushed. Automatic landed should no longer fail and freeze the ship in place indefinitely. Another game-breaking bug that is crushed. They fixed an issue that was causing space stations to show out of range when they shouldn't be attempting to travel to them. Good. That's another old bug that is being fixed, and I'm glad that this is also gone. Objective marker should now recognize Lorville Gate O2 delivery locker as a drop-off location. Okay. Fixed an issue that could cause players to fall through the world when proning in Levski Garage. Alright. The players should no longer see positive and negative amount in storage when moving items between storage spaces. They fixed an issue where moving an item from backpack to chest could sometimes fail, and even though the UI reports that there's sufficient capacity. And they fixed an issue in Star Marine causing players to spawn with an empty clip. I have no idea. Oh yes, it's true. This happens a lot if you have an F-55. This happened to me quite a lot. I'm glad that this is fixed, especially every time you have to reload all the time, and whereas other players don't have to reload, and this gives you quite a disadvantage. I thought it was a feature, and I'm glad that this is a bug that is being fixed. Known issues here: the character will die at certain locations, and we recommend staying away from Port Olisar, as this happens constantly, needing to landing pads. No charges are given to a player that rams and destroys another ship with players. So much for the law system, right? They need to be fixing that ASAP, otherwise it's going to be a ram fest. Pilot of a ship containing passengers will be charged with negligent homicide if their ship is rammed and destroyed by another player. What is this? So if you are being rammed and you have passengers, you are charged. What is this? Players are not able to search for friends in the menu, and all the other bugs here are old bugs. Alright, now let's talk about let's talk about some of the rumors that we can get to see here from the evocati. Evocati is speaking of the size of the turrets around rest stops, and apparently I'm being told that the turret platforms have 2 turrets on each side, and one platform is about as big as not as an Avenger, is about as big as a heavy fighter. So for example, it's probably as big as a cutlass. So that's pretty much considerable, I would say. And yeah, these guns are located not around Port Olisar, but around the main rest stop stations, including the ones that are in orbit. So that is also good to know. Also, we can see that the rest stops are doing are looking very polished now. A lot of the textures are being finalized, less and less replace me items, so that is good progress. We should see interesting progress in tomorrow's episode of Inside Star Citizen. Really looking forward to that. And now let's talk a little bit about Spectrum and what the devs are talking about there regarding missiles. So in Star Citizen Alpha 3.11, missiles are going to have some work, which is not on the roadmap. Well, it should be, because it's going to be quite significant, especially if you are into dogfighting, or at least, you know, not necessarily PvP, but PvE as well. Missiles can be quite handy, and apparently now you can only lock 4 missiles at the same time. We were able to use basically you were able to lock all missiles in the past. I remember I did lock like 8 missiles simultaneously with a freelancer one day, and yeah, that was very handy. That's very handy, but it's a little bit too overpowered, and they know that, and this is a little bit more of a balanced pack. The locking process has changed too, so if a pilot allows a target to fly outside of the locking cone, the missile would disarm itself and the locking process will have to be reinitiated. Missiles no longer have persistent knowledge about their target. If a pilot successfully evades a missile, and it will try to relock rather than immediately heading towards the target. If unsuccessful, it will detonate after some time. Players can only fire 1 missile at a time. If a player has a valid missile lock but decides to swap into a different type, all existing locks will be cancelled. So we can lock 4 missiles at the same time, but only fire 1 though. So they will have to be fired one by one. Not all 4 missiles can go at the same time. Also, now missiles react properly to countermeasures, which is the next big thing that we're going to talk about here. There's going to be 2 types of countermeasures now in Star Citizen Alpha 3.11. There's going to be a decoy type of countermeasure, which is an object that effectively creates a powerful signal source that missiles are attracted to. In Star Citizen Alpha 3.11, all missiles will react to decoys to varying degrees. Of course, a decoy has a limited time in which it is active. Once a decoy is burned out, an incoming missile will try to regain a lock on its original target, and you can even try to use your own countermeasures to protect your friends in another ship. And the second one is what they call a noise field, which creates a small space in which signatures are actively distorted and jammed. A ship deploying a noise field fires a small projectile that explodes and spreads out tiny particles that confuses sensors regardless of where they're based on EM, IR, or CS signatures. If the ship's signature is low enough, a pilot can even hide in that cloud. However, this will also actively jam the ship sensors as well, so radar's contact will disappear. Missiles can be affected by this in the same way, of course. Speaking of bigger ships, now the Karak, for example, will have larger countermeasures, which will have stronger effects, and all key bindings regarding countermeasures have been updated, and they have removed the cycle keybinds in favor of a launching countermeasures directly. Yes, very nice. Countermeasure visuals effect have also been updated and will now be properly replicated in the PU. They've also updated the HUD regarding countermeasure. This sounds very exciting, and once again, I will be definitely testing that in the PTU as soon as it reaches wave 1. And that's all for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget that this month I've got a giveaway. I'm giving away a Talon Shrike thanks to Buzz69, who decided to help out this channel. And also on top of that, I'm also giving away a rock with a Cutlass Black as part of the package. All of that with lifetime insurance too. All you have to do to get a chance of winning is to be a subscriber of the channel and comment to any Star Citizen videos related this month The winner will be announced early October. Good luck to everyone. Again, thank you very much for watching. This is the Eradicator, and I'll see you guys later.